4 AI tools I'm loving right now as a content creator. If you're still doing all of your tasks manually, we need to talk. Hey, I'm Kelsey, and look, I get it. Thinking about all of the AI tools that are out there and which ones will actually help you is pretty overwhelming. It's hard to know which ones are worth your time and which ones aren't. So I've tested a lot of AI tools, and today I'm going to share with you 4 that I'm absolutely loving right now and that I think are worth your time checking out. These aren't tools I've just tried once for a video and then never touched again. These are tools that are actually part of my workflow now. And stick around because I'll explain exactly how I use each one, not just theory. So let's jump in. The first AI tool I've been loving lately is called WisprFlow. This is honestly a game changer if you're tired of typing everything out. So essentially, WisprFlow is a tool where you can turn your spoken word into clean written text in real time. And the best part is it doesn't just write your text exactly how you say it. If you're just rambling, it will summarize what you're trying to say and it will make your text a lot cleaner. If I'm working with something like Claude or ChatGPT, instead of writing out everything that I want to say, I just talk. And WisprFlow transcribes it instantly into clean text. I also use it for commenting on videos, writing emails, and honestly, anytime I need to write something, but talking is just faster than writing, which is basically all the time. Because the truth is, most of us can speak a lot faster than we can type. So literally, why are we still typing everything out? WisprFlow removes that friction completely. I talk, it types, and I keep moving. And the second AI tool I've been loving lately is Claude. And yes, I'm sure you've heard of Claude already, but have you actually used Claude? There's so many AI writing tools out there, but most people stop at ChatGPT. And honestly, for so many years, I was one of those people as well. I had heard that Claude was good at writing, but I just thought, how much better can it be? But wow, honestly, the first time I used Claude, I was like, this is just so much better at writing. I tried it for writing UGC scripts, and the difference to me is like day and night. I've just realized recently that there are a lot of AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, but each of these tools really have their own strengths. And when it comes to the actual writing tasks like content planning, writing scripts, or anything that really needs flow, Claude so far is the best one I've tested. To me, it just sounds less robotic. Sometimes when you use ChatGPT, it can sound a little bit robotic, but yeah, Claude just seems to write more human-like. And essentially, it don't feel like the script screams, AI wrote this. When I'm using Claude for writing a script or something, I don't just say, write me a YouTube script about productivity. Essentially, I will brain dump all of my ideas that I have about the video and then ask it to write me an outline. But I also ask Claude to ask me questions so that it can create a more personalized script that makes sense for me. I then find the output from Claude normally reads really well. Of course, I'm making tweaks to make the content more my own, but the flow in general is just so much better than other AI tools I've used, specifically when it comes to writing content. But my biggest tip for when using Claude is use it more like a brainstorming partner and you're having a conversation with it. So don't just prompt it once and expect to get the perfect output straight away. Actually read what it's saying and make tweaks when you need to. Tell it what the bits that you want to fix and the bits you want to take out. And then you'll get a much more personalized output and closer to what you were thinking when you started. Definitely, if you have not tried Claude yet for writing tasks, you have to give it a go. And currently for Claude, I'm just using the free version. So I can't even imagine how good the paid version of Claude is if I'm just using the free version. And the third AI tool I'm loving at the moment is called Opus Clip. And honestly, discovering Opus Clip has completely changed my content workflow when it comes to my personal brand. So essentially, Opus Clip takes your long form content like your YouTube videos and it breaks it down into short clips that you can use for your short form platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. My old workflow used to look like this. I'd try to come up with multiple short form reels, talking head reels that I could post weekly. But this workflow was actually quite exhausting and it lacked a lot of depth of thought because I was primarily focusing on what's going to capture people's attention. And when you're always thinking like that, it is quite tiring. I was constantly thinking, what's my next reel going to be? And what's the next reel after that going to be? But now, since discovering Opus Clip, I've completely transformed how I create content for my personal brand. So essentially now I am mainly focused on creating one long form piece of content. So I'm taking the time to think deeper and think about what I actually really want to talk about, not just thinking about what might get views. And then once I've uploaded that one YouTube video, I then put it into Opus Clip and I get tons of short form content that I can then repurpose onto my short form platforms like Instagram. Sorry, not my short form platforms, the short form platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. So it's super easy to use. All you have to do is upload your long form content or your links to your YouTube videos. And then Opus Clip uses AI to find the most engaging parts of your videos and creates short form content with that. But it doesn't just cut it randomly. It adds captions, finds the best framing, and then even gives you a virality score so you know which clips are likely to perform the best. And something else that's really cool is you can even edit the clips inside Opus Clip. So if there's anything you want to tweak, you don't have to take it onto a different platform. You can literally just do it right inside Opus Clip. Like I said, this has completely flipped my content strategy. Instead of stressing about creating a bunch of different short form videos for the week, I literally just film one long video and then get Opus Clip to do the rest of the work for me. Then I upload it, let Opus Clip do its thing, and I've got 5 to 10 clips ready to use for my socials. I pick my favorites, make some tweaks if I want, and then I just schedule them for the week. And that's it. Super easy, and I'm super excited specifically about this new content strategy of creating more long form content over just all the short form content, because I was finding myself getting quite burnt out, always thinking in short form content. Started spending a lot less time on short form platforms. I'm using a tool called Bloom to help me with that, and it's only been a couple of days and it's honestly been amazing. But I'll probably talk about that next week, Bloom, because I don't know if it's placebo or what, but wow, I feel so much clearer. I feel like my phone is not controlling me anymore. Literally barely even going on Instagram, which I used to go on Instagram all the time. So it's a super helpful tool, which I'll talk about later. And the fourth AI tool I'm loving at the moment is Google Gemini, specifically for the image generation, or as you may know it, Nano Banana Pro. Now, I know there's a lot of image generation tools out there, but Nano Banana Pro is next level. If you've ever played around with the image generation on ChatGPT, for ages there, the text just often was messed up. I think they've actually made an update recently too, and I think that their text has got better too, but I still prefer the Google Gemini one. If you're creating content that needs custom images, so thinking like Etsy listings, carousel posts, Pinterest pins, I find that Google Gemini is really good at this, specifically if you have the Pro version and you're using Nano Banana Pro. Like with any of these AI tools, you need to be prompting it properly. Sometimes it takes me a few different attempts at prompts for the image to actually look good. But once I get it, I'm just so happy with it. Sometimes it is a little bit frustrating because you think you're prompting it correctly and it's not giving you the exact output. So I still do like using Canva, but still now 50% of the time I'm finding myself going to Google Gemini to create images for my business. The thing I'm using Google Gemini for the most is actually my Etsy listing images. Recently, I created this product, which is self-care coloring in jar thing that people can use. And all of the listing images I created with Google Gemini. And I've done this quite a few times, created the listing images with Google Gemini. And at first I thought it might not sell that well, but a lot of the listings that I've used Google Gemini for the listing images have sold just as well as any of the other ones that I made with Canva, sometimes better. I also like it for carousel posts too. Once again, it can sometimes just be easier to use something like Canva, but it's definitely worth checking this out. If you can get your prompts down, I think that sometimes it can be just faster to use Google Gemini. With Google Gemini, they also have the video generation, and that is so good. It obviously looks like AI generated, but it's still crazy that you can literally put a prompt in and create a video from it. I don't really use it that much, but it's still super powerful. So those are my 4 favorite AI tools I'm using at the moment. Honestly, I love exploring new AI tools. So if that's your vibe, definitely follow along. So to recap, I like using WisprFlow for speaking instead of typing, Claude for writing that sounds less robotic, Opus Clip for turning one long form piece of content into multiple short pieces of content, and Google Gemini for custom images or videos. And as I said before, I know AI tools can be super overwhelming because there's literally new AI tools coming out all the time. But I think the thing to remember is that you don't need all of them. So if you want to start playing around with some of these AI tools, I recommend just like picking one and trying it for the week and seeing if it actually does save you time. If it doesn't help you save time, then you can move on. But if it does, you can keep it. If you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe. My goal here is to post at least one new video a week. And I love talking about all things like AI, content creation, productivity, creator life, habits, all of it. I'm all about leveling up on this channel. So if that's your vibe, please subscribe and thank you for watching.